Hi everyone, today I'm coming at you with another vintage home decor haul video. So I recently went on vacation, my first vacation in a year and a half? And I decided to do a little bit of thrifting, of course, while I'm away. That's one thing that I absolutely love to do when I go on vacation is hit up a few local thrifting stores, antique malls, etc. because just the selection can be really different. So when I went to Port Townsend, Washington a couple of weeks ago, I definitely hit up some pretty cool spots. So the things you're gonna see today are mostly from that trip. But I also have a few items that I got at my local antique mall and Goodwill, so I will show you those too. So like my other haul videos, first I'm gonna take you shopping with me, and then I'm gonna bring everything home and let you know what I'm gonna keep and what I'm gonna sell in my Etsy shop. So without further ado, let's get thrifting. So if you've watched me before, you know that I absolutely love brass animals. I'm always picking up brass animals when I see them, especially if they're reasonably priced. And when I was at this antique mall in Port Townsend in Washington on my trip, I saw this guy and I was just like, ah, he was so huge. I think he was only $12. I can't remember, but I remember it was a lot less than normal. Usually I don't pay any more than $10, $15 for brass, depending on what it is. Something this large is a little bit more valuable, so I tend to pay up. But this guy I'm actually probably gonna keep for my own decor. So if you can see, he's all that awesome, like patina and detailing, especially like on the tail, so cool. So I'm gonna keep this for myself. I love to decorate for the holidays, but I have a hard time finding decor that's not super cheesy. I don't like the cliche decor. I decorate in a very colorful way, and then there's just certain, holidays that the color palette just doesn't like mesh with my house. And so I try to think of new and cool ways to bring in items that kind of nod to whatever the season is. And so this is one of those pieces. So I have brass animals in my house. This is a great way to me to kind of like, I don't know, showcase fall, but in a way that's a little bit more uniquely me. So the next item I found was absolutely just adorable. It's such an adorable piece. So I used to collect teacups like years ago, and I have too many now, so I have to stop collecting them. I have a collection. But this I couldn't pass up because it is actually a beautiful wood imported teacup and saucer set. So the color I thought was really lovely. It's just like rich tone, and then you can kind of see the different flower shape of the pieces. Definitely a matching set, an amazing shape considering I know this is like a very vintage piece. It has actually the sticker on the bottom. This gold sticker here is another great way to kind of tell that something is vintage and old, because this type of marking, they just don't do anymore. So I saw this, I thought it was so cute in the color. I'm actually, like I said, I'm not gonna keep this one because I have too many teacups. So luckily for anyone watching, if this is something that you collect too, or you wanna do something fun and style on your kitchen counter or your kitchen shelf, this would be a really great piece. So this will be available in my Etsy shop. I can't remember how much I paid for it. I got this actually at the the Goodwill when I was on vacation. So it probably was around, I would say $6, which I thought was like a great deal considering, you know, how unique and fun it is. So yeah, this is such a sunny, cute piece. I had to pick it up. So it wouldn't be a haul video without baskets, of course. I pick up so many baskets when I'm out and about when I see them. And these ones I thought were absolutely great. I have picked up this basket before. It always seems to sell. People really love the colors. It's kind of funny because I love opening up this basket, any basket that has color on the edges, because it's kind of fun to see what the inside is going to look like, because the outside is usually so faded because it's vintage. And so of course this used to be like Christmas colors, like a red and green, but now since it's faded, it's like more of a soft, almost like a pinkish red, and then it's more of a sage green. So I actually prefer this color palette because I think it's just a little bit softer and sweeter. But these like seagrass baskets, I think they're also called sweetgrass baskets, are really popular and valuable. It's kind of funny. This is one of the pieces that I always try to pick up, these types of baskets, because they usually if you find them in the thrift store, they're actually pretty reasonably priced. Like I'm talking like oftentimes less than $5. At an antique mall, vintage mall, you may pay a little bit up for them, like 8 to 12, but that's still really good margin considering they sell for, gosh, anywhere from like 28 to 30 some bucks. So this will be available in my Etsy shop. I actually have one up there right now too. So it's just one of these pieces that are really popular and they always seem to sell. So I had to pick it up. And then this other one I thought was just stunning. I mean, look at that detailing. There's so many types of woven texturing on it. I thought it was, oh, and then here's the center too. It just was so beautiful. This is something I think that obviously it's a standalone piece. You could have it on your shelf, you know, for your catch-all and stuff like that. But if you have a basket wall, this would be another great piece to hang because it's small. And oftentimes for basket walls, you know, you're finding like these big pieces, but it looks really nice when you have varying sizes. And so this would be a really great addition to a basket wall. And especially since it's a little bit shorter. I mean, it's definitely not flat, but it's not so tall that it would be like leaping off the wall at you. So this is another basket I had to pick up. I can't remember how much I paid for that, but I remember it wasn't super expensive, but I did pay a little bit up because it's definitely more of a hand woven, almost Native American style piece. So very special. I absolutely adore this. If I decorated with brown, I would be keeping it because the detail is stunning, but this will also be available in my Etsy shop. So another thing I always am picking up, of course, is pottery. If you've watched my other videos, you know that pottery is one of my things. So when I saw this, it was literally love at first sight. And I know what you're thinking, Andy, I'm pretty sure every single thing you buy is love at first sight. And you're probably not really that wrong, but some pieces speak to me a little more than others. And this one I thought was stunning. It is a lidded pot, which is, you know, you don't always find pots that have a matching beautiful hand spun lid. And then also the colors and tones on this were just incredible. I just could not believe it. So it's almost like this deep brown slate gray type color, and then the awesome desert kind of like sunset tones. So I just thought that the combination of these colors was very unique. And the shape, I mean, look at the shape. The silhouette on this thing is just insane. It's all the curves, the lid, it just was phenomenal. It's an excellent shape, no cracks or chips or anything, which is always amazing when it's, you know, a vintage piece. It's artist signed on the bottom, which means the piece is that much more valuable. So yeah, I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, you are coming home with me. So as much as I love it, I own a lot of pottery. So this will also be available in my Etsy shop. So one thing I've been selling a lot lately is candlesticks. They are so popular. And when I saw these at Goodwill on my vacation, I had to pick them up. So it's actually a set of 3 iron candlesticks. So one of my favorite thrifters to watch haul video wise is Laura Caldwell. I can like link her down below. And she's always finding these and picking them up. And I'm always like, oh, I want to find a set of these. They're so cool. And then the thrift gods decided to bless me with them one day when I was at the Goodwill. So I thought these were just absolutely stunning. They're very solid, really cool shape. a ton of like hand done detailing. It looks like it's definitely been like hand hammered. It was just so cool. And so set of 3, which I thought was awesome because, you know, finding sets of stuff, especially at the thrift store, it can be kind of tricky because oftentimes the reason why someone's getting rid of something is because they've lost the mate to it. So to find 3 matching ones, I thought was pretty incredible. So I paid a little up for these. I mean, really not up. It was $10 for all 3 of them. So that's not really up, considering the margin on these to resell them is pretty good. But yeah, I just thought they were awesome. Definitely not my decor. They're a little too brutalist for me, but stunning. I know they're gonna sell. I know someone's gonna want them because they're just so cool and so sturdy. So these will be available in my Etsy shop. So speaking of things that don't necessarily go in my home, this next thing is another item that's so popular right now that I'm not particularly into, but I know everybody else is, so I have to pick them up because they're so popular. And it is this accordion style hanger. I actually had another one of these in a thrift haul I did a few weeks ago. And of course I happened to be out and about and I found another one. What's different about this one is it has a lot of detail. So usually these like peg accordion racks are pretty simple. Simple lines, simple peg, they're pretty standard. This one is so unique because, well, first off, the size is really large. This is definitely larger than your standard vintage peg rack. And then on top of that, it has a lot more like detailing. I'll zoom in. You can see all the different carved intricate detail. And then the actual like, the peg itself has a ton of detailing. I don't know if that's coming across on the screen very well. It has a ton of detail too. So it just was way more intricate and detailed than the typical peg rack. So that's why I was just like, yeah, this is to come home with me. $4.99, which was insane for one this size and this unique. It has stamped on the back, India. You can see it right there. And also, you know this is vintage because it has this like old sticker on the bottom. That's something that, you know, you don't have to see these stickers on new items anymore, so definitely a vintage piece. But when I saw this, I was like, oh, yeah, you're coming home with me. I know someone's gonna want it because people love these things. So this will be available in my Etsy shop. So the next item is going to be hard to part with because I actually think it's pretty special and cool. I know another thing that I think is amazing, of course. But this one I thought was just really unique. So I've seen kind of pieces like this before, but nothing with this more like paired back color palette. So it has like a lemony yellow, and then this green is almost like a turquoisey green. It may not be coming across on screen very well, but it has like amazing rustic hand-carved details. It's a little bit raised off the surface, so it would make a really good trivet or serving piece. So when I saw this, I had to pick it up because it just was such a stunning and you know, just an amazingly thoughtful piece for being just such a tiny little trivet. So this will be available in my Etsy shop. But yeah, it's gonna be hard to part with because I actually really adore it, even though it's not as colorful as the stuff that I usually have in my house. But yeah, something about it just really spoke to me, so I had to pick it up. So I know talked a little bit about holiday decor earlier in the video, and I'm always trying to find pieces that match my decorating style that are not so obviously holiday. But these ones you'll probably be like, Annie, these are very obviously holiday. But they are these. And when I say these, because there's actually 2 more of these inside of this guy. You know I love a good nesting item. I collect Russian nesting dolls. So this is like the Easter equivalent of Russian nesting dolls. I actually have one of these already that's like in pink tones that I got years ago for $1 at a thrift store. This was a set of 3 for $6.99. So the reason why this to me is not I mean, it definitely screams Easter time. But I think like the colors are unique and the shape is very vintage, which definitely matches my home. And also the palette is just more bright. That's one thing about Easter is the palette is so pastel. And I'm not a huge fan of pastels. So anytime I can find Easter decorations, which is almost never, that have a little bit more vibrant of a color palette, I definitely pick it up. So I will show you just so you can be like, I want to see the nesting friend there. Oh, so then there. And then here's the final one here, if I can pull it out without busting it. They are so delicate because they are definitely on the older side. So yeah, so very cool. The colors are so fun, like all the woven detail. So yeah, when I saw these, I was just like, amazing. And then I carried them around the thrift store, and I'm sure people are like, wow, that's what spoke to her at the thrift store today. But yes, I was very excited to find these, especially since I do have one already. Actually, I'll pop a picture of it on the screen for you guys so you can see the other one that I have. But yeah, I thought these were very cool. These I'm not going to sell in my Etsy shop because I've been waiting a long time to find more like this. But since I have 3 of the same, maybe one will make its way into my shop. But I'm not sure. But for now, I'm definitely going to keep these. So the next item I'm going to show you is so unique. And when I saw it, I was like, yes, you are coming home with me. You are so cool. It is this all leather camel. Yes, his skin or fur, I guess it would have been fur, would be fur in real life. It looks a little like skin. Is actually leather. And I'll hold him up to the screen. So he has so much amazing lifelike detailing. It was incredible when I saw this. I could not believe how intricate and interesting and just well made this piece was. And just so unique. And also sculptural. Like, I mean, my goodness, like on a shelf somewhere, it's just like, this could be like your stunning knockout piece. So when I saw it, had to get it. It's in really great shape considering it is a vintage leather piece. It has amazing, wonderful patina, and it looks so lifelike. It is incredible. Now, the funny thing is, this piece actually looks a lot like my dog. I'll put a picture of her on the screen. So when I have had this, I've had this around the house a little bit while I'm like photographing things and styling things, and every time I look over and my husband looks over at it, we think it's our dog. So I'll put a picture of her. She's a short hair, ginger colored dachshund. So that's why she kind of looks like this. And she's very smooth, very sleek. So she kind of looks a little bit like this camel. So I'll put a picture of her on the screen so you can be like, okay, I kind of see it. But yeah, every time we see this, it kind of reminds us of her. So this actually will be available in my Etsy shop because I think my son, my 2.5-year-old, will be like, that's mine. And no, this is not for 2.5-year-olds. This is for adults to admire. So this will definitely be available in my Etsy shop. So the next 2 items I was really excited to find because they've been on my be on the lookout for list, or BOLO list, as we say in the reselling industry. They are these awesome ceramic vessels. Now there's actually a proper name for them, and I cannot think of it off the top of my head right now. But I could not believe my luck when I found 2 very similar, very cool vessels like these. So they are really sturdy and solid, really unique, interesting shape, like that bottle shape at the top. This one has actually some markings on the top that I can't quite make out. So I'll try and see if I can read it a little bit better and pop it on the screen if I can make it out. I think this is like something Amsterdam. Anyways, these are handmade, very cool, with artist markings on them, which I think is really neat. This one has the markings on the bottom. I don't know. Yeah, it has some initialing on the bottom. So definitely handmade by folks. But yeah, I thought they were so cool, especially as a set or a pair. I think these would look amazing styled on a shelf, especially like in a kitchen or something. As something, unique and cool. And also, to put any sort of dried flowers and plants in. I mean, this has that very narrow neck, which is great if styling flowers, plants, etc. is not your thing. This requires far fewer stems and is a little bit more foolproof. So I'm always picking up this type of neck because way easier to style. But yeah, I thought these were very cool pieces. These will be available in my Etsy shop. So yeah, when I saw that, I was like, yes, finally found a set of these. I can scratch it off my BOLO, be on the lookout for list. So the final item is something else I've been actually on the lookout for that I never seem to find, but I guess this past week when I went to a local antique mall, it was my time to find it. So it is this very cool hand-tooled leather stool. So I'll lean back a little bit so you can kind of see the whole height of it. So this is like amazingly detailed. Like I'll zoom in and you can kind of see it. Look, all the detailing on it. I mean, just exquisite. Lots of amazing patina, but not a ton of wear. A little bit of scratching, but honestly, I think it adds to the beauty of the piece. And it comes with this like removable stand. So that's one thing that's kind of great about this piece is to ship it. It won't be much of a nightmare because it actually folds up like this and this together, and so it's definitely way easier to pack. So when I saw this tripod leather stool, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, you're coming home with me. It was only $30 actually, which is incredible because these actually sell for, gosh, $100 or more because they just are really truly special and very detailed pieces, and they just last and last and last because they're leather. So yeah, this piece, when I saw it, I was like, you're coming home with me. You are amazing. I usually don't pick up like furniture. I guess this is kind of furniture because you can sit on it, but because it folds down so nicely, I was like, okay, this won't be that hard to ship. I guess I can do it because I usually like to just ship smalls because it's way easier to pack. And you know what? Thrifting for me is like a hobby. I do reselling because, why not make a little money when I'm doing my hobby? But yeah, I don't have the appetite for big things. So I think this is about as big as it gets in terms of me buying something. But yeah, I thought this was so cool. This will definitely be available in my Etsy shop. So if this looks like it belongs in your home, definitely check it out when I list it. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed all the pieces that I recently picked up while I was out thrifting. Let me know in the comments below what item was your favorite. And if you're interested in more decorating and thrifting content between my haul videos, definitely check me out on Instagram. Thanks again for watching, and I can't wait to see you on my next thrifting and decorating video. Take care.